Welcome to join us at We Are the People. This is Jacob Milton. Viewers and those who are watching us from Bangladesh or from the different parts of the world, I'd like to say hello, and we are going to have a very interesting talk show today. Some of the subject become headline in Bangladesh, and I find a couple of people, more than one, those who are very familiar with those headlines, and we're going to touch some of the subject that is getting under the skin of millions of people. Can I say that I am also one of those individuals? Perhaps, or I may not be, but those subjects are really important. One of the subjects is grabbing public attention is about a month ago, one of the legendary journalists in Bangladesh, Shafiq Rahman, along with another journalist named Mahmoud Rahman, got arrested, that they were involved with the conspiracy to kidnap and kill the son of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. SHAJEEV WAZED is a US citizen. Perhaps he is a dual citizen. He made a claim with the FBI that some people are making a conspiracy to kidnap and kill him. In a district court, an FBI decided to arrest 3 individuals. One of them was FBI agent, another is his informer, and one Bangladeshi guy who asked the FBI agent that I'd like to know the bank information of Joy. There was no conversation between that Bangladeshi guy and FBI agent and his informer that we are going to kidnap SHAJEEV WAZED, we are going to kill SHAJEEV WAZED. Those conversations never took place. So we have some court document, we got some newspaper clip. At the same time, I asked a couple of my attorneys to make an inquiry with the Southern District. I also asked them to get in touch with the US Homeland Security. We have a little bit of information, and the person is with us. He used to work for the government, and we'd like to have his idea, his familiarity with this type of situation. Audience, we all know Bangladesh is passing really hardest time since our independence. I don't think this type of scenario was present for the last 45 years. This is the first time we Bangladeshi are looking at a government that they wouldn't hesitate to kill anyone and everyone just to consolidate their power. With me today, I have a gentleman who used to work for the government in this country. In his personal life, he's an attorney. His name is David Korngold. David, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And with me, I have one honorable lady. I'm really proud to have her on these shows. People try to crucify her for her opinion, and I'm happy to have her for one reason. Everybody can give their opinion, but when an opinion do not have substance, that opinion is not an opinion. But Dr. Mina Farah, since I know her, as of today, I haven't heard one opinion without substance. I have no reason not to respect her. I have every reason to respect her, and I'm happy to have her. Mina Appa, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
David, we have some interesting subject. Number one, the son of our Prime Minister, he's a US citizen.
Okay.
And about 2-3 years ago, he made a claim with the FBI that some people try to kidnap him and kill him. That was his claim. FBI arrested 3 individuals. One is FBI agent Lustig, Robert Lustig. Another was Jonahan Thaler. Another one Bangladeshi national. So far, according to the court document, that Bangladeshi guy tried to bribe FBI agent to have the bank information of the son of the Prime Minister. Is it a crime in this country?
To bribe an FBI official? Yes.
It is a crime. All three of them got arrested. There is no proof inside the court that anyone tried to kidnap or kill. I think you checked the court document, you tried to verify the paperwork, you checked everything. Did you find anything that these people tried to kidnap and kill the son of the Prime Minister?
There was no evidence. In fact, the judge in the Southern District who they requested for them to raise the bail based on this new evidence rejected the claim because there was no evidence.
So there is no evidence whatsoever that no one, even judge even made a fun that is this story is a made-up story, it's an exaggeration.
For a judge to throw out such a difficult and very high-level criminal accusation without any consideration of it is pretty telling. I mean, obviously the judge found more than just not enough evidence, no evidence whatsoever, or perhaps even that it was a bold-faced lie.
Dr. Farah.
Yes.
If you and me say these things, they're going to say, Dr. Mina Farah is crazy. She criticized Awami League for nothing. You are hearing from an individual in his personal life. He's an attorney. He used to work for the government. This is his statement. He checked the paperwork. He verified it with the Southern District. What are you going to say?
What I'm going to say is that it's a crime to try to bribing someone, but I have written in my column also that for the cause that he wanted to find out somebody's bank accounts, how much money is there, millions of dollars we hear, over 300 million. The cause is not a crime, but try to bribe to get the information is a crime. I call the gentleman who got arrested, I call him a hero because he sacrificed his future to find out for his motherland who is stealing money from our country. And I say that David Bergman, he in the Wire newspaper, he wrote that the claims that SHAJEEV WAZED and his gang is making about his arrest and kidnapping, killing him, he made it with a documentary evidence that everything is false. Let me tell you this, why this our people, they are not thinking right in our country. They are all become sick-minded. So to understand the sick mind, you have to really step back. We are not in the country. We see what's happening. The main reason they arrested this Shafiq Rahman, the journalist, he's an icon. The reason because it was too many poisonous, too many bad news against the government. Let me give you a little bit of a background story. 1933, 9th May, there was a Hitler and his gang, they decided they are going to burn all the documents, that all the research paper, all the books, all the libraries, they're going to burn. On 10th May, they did that. They had a book burning ceremony, and just before that, Einstein left the country, and in that book burning ceremony, they burned very like Ernest Hemingway, Sigmund Freud, that kind of people, all the paper. And then he started a propaganda in the country against free thinking, so against journalism. So only 24 hours, 7, you have to hear only Hitler's praising. And so he just cleared the country of any intellectualism. So in our country, we are repeating the history of the Second World War. Nobody noticing that what Goebbels did is the same rumor is going on. So too many bad news against the government. How to come out of it is they wanted to arrest Shafiq Rahman from the beginning because he's an icon and he had connection with the intellectuals of the foreign countries. They wanted to remove him. They removed him at a time when there was more bad news coming about the Federal Reserve stealing money, like over $1 billion about to be gone. So they arrested him, and then they used this as a leverage. They used this news that somebody wanted to kidnap and kill and you can, the country's sanity, mental hygiene is out of 100 right now. It could be no more than 2 or 3. So people believe everything Sheikh Hasina say, and then now people started to believe what Sheikh Hasina is saying is true, and Shafiq Rahman is guilty before it's proven. Now they could not put out any documentary evidence.
Nothing.
They're just saying, they're just spreading the rumor like 1933 in Germany.
Yep.
Same thing.
This was a criminal case in a southern district. The U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara did everything. Preet Bharara assigned 2 top prosecutors on this case.
Right.
They did everything to get a conviction. Judge says there is no such evidence that they tried to kidnap or kill SHAJEEV WAZED Joy. As a matter of fact, in a judge ruling, he literally laughed at SHAJEEV WAZED Joy and the prosecutor. What you guys are talking about? And you already mentioned it. That's a serious charges, right? Serious allegation.
Absolutely.
Someone tried to kidnap the son of Prime Minister of another country? Come on. Bangladesh is an ally to the US government. Now, do you think this case can be retried in this country according to this country's criminal law?
Well, I assume you're referring to the double jeopardy clause of the Constitution. A finding by a judge that somebody may not have committed something is not the same thing as a finding at trial. So I wouldn't say that we're precluded from going back for a criminal case, or a criminal prosecution if there's evidence. But as you can see, this is a fairly old case.
Yeah.
And no new criminal charges have been brought. And the chances of any criminal charges being brought when a judge of the Southern District has already made fun of those charges,
yeah,
it's infinitesimal. It's minimal. And we're talking about somebody who's very, very ambitious, Pete Farrar, as you mentioned. He's somebody who has put away many high-level government officials. I can't imagine he'd hesitate to put away somebody from the FBI or put away somebody, a Bangladeshi national. Why would he hesitate for a second? And he was, I believe, sentenced to less than 50 months.
Yeah.
The person who initiated the bribery scam. Well, I mean, for conspiracy to commit assault or murder, that could be as much as a life sentence, depending on other circumstances in the federal courts. So, why would they get somebody on these what they call penny ante charges when they have somebody who they could put away for life and have a nice feather in his cap? So it's obvious that there is no evidence whatsoever of these claims.
And another thing, he's a U.S. citizen. Okay. Since he realized that judge is not going to consider to offer his verdict otherwise, and Preet Bharara, U.S. Attorney for Southern District, already says he's happy with the verdict.
Right.
So if that shows that they're not interested to prosecute this case one more time.
Clearly.
It's fine. Now, in a foreign soil in Bangladesh, Bangladeshi Prime Minister and Bangladeshi government, they realize that they cannot misuse US resources or US judicial for their benefit. What they did, they arrested one 81-year-old, well-respected journalist, has nothing to do in his lifetime with no criminal activities. They arrested him. Do you know what was his crime? They says he spoke to the FBI informer. Mm-hmm. Say, you are FBI informer, I spoke to you. I don't even know who you are. You are a general, you are David Korngold, I'm talking to you. I don't know you are FBI informer, I just spoke to you. Right. And we had a normal chit chat. There is no conversation took place that Shafiq Rahman even knew that this conspiracy, this. They arrested this guy. They arrested another guy, another honorable journalist named Mahmoud Rahman. Mahmoud Rahman. They arrested him. This is a tricky question, probably you have to do lots of research. This guy abused the law due to the fact that his mother is a prime minister. Mm-hmm. Is there anything can be done in the US to hold him accountable that due to his existence, these people are suffering in Bangladesh? Is there any clause? He's a US citizen.
Well, certainly, if somebody has committed war crimes, the United States can prosecute them even if they are not a U.S. citizen. We have numerous examples going back from a recent example, El Chapo, who's the drug king in Mexico. He's been arrested. He's going to be extradited to the United States. But going back, there's so many examples foreign leaders. Ferdinand Marcos from the Philippines was
Noriega,
of course. So yeah, definitely we can actually prosecute people who committed their crimes overseas. But a United States citizen who commits crimes overseas, we could prosecute them directly. We don't even have to extradite them.
So do you think there is an option that if someone has the courage to take it to the court?
There's certainly an option. There's no doubt that somebody ambitious like P. Farah would like to. The question is whether there is diplomatic issues involved. Obviously, being the son of the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, a United States ally, there are certain constitutional issues which preempt a prosecution. For example, you can't just sue a foreign minister or a foreign leader because it might be that they did something wrong, even criminal, which apparently is the case here. But the United States has other concerns. We cannot alienate Bangladesh, who is an ally of ours, an important ally of ours, based on some sort of low-level or even high-level criminal charge that we would like to bring against the son of the Prime Minister. Moreover, of course, do we really want to punish the son of the Prime Minister? That would alienate them regardless of whether it's right or wrong. And so there are a lot of these considerations. So we're preempted by suing a foreign national leader by certain clauses that have to do with the Constitution, and those are things that the states have no control over, or the federal government.
You are an attorney. Also, you had fair amount of knowledge about U.S. government, the way based on your previous experience. You remember a couple of days ago, the victim of 9/11, they tried to sue the government of Saudi Arabia.
Right.
You're familiar with that?
Absolutely.
These things. And Saudi Arabia did their all diplomatic efforts so that in the Senate or House, they shouldn't pass that bill.
Right.
Okay. So that shows that in the US, there is a clause. If something going on wrong outside this country, these people can use this country's judicial.
Yes. So just to clarify, so what happened was over there in that case, there was a bill in Congress passed to allow suit of Saudi Arabia. So it's not something that can be just undertaken, but if the bill had passed, then they would have been able to sue Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia did whatever they had to do to kill the bill. My understanding is that the bill is no longer viable.
Okay. Here's the thing. When you heard that rumor that SHAJEEV WAZED is going to be Foreign Minister of Bangladesh.
Yes.
What's your take? Why at this time they have to make him Foreign Minister of Bangladesh?
You see, we can ask millions of why without any answer. We are just wasting our time, money, everything. The reason for that is to cover the news with the news, one news after the other. Like I said, it will be our country at this point, to be best understood. We should compare it with the Second World War Germany condition, when Hitler took away all the free thinkers, all the journalism, everything. So government is trying to make a one-man party. Okay, like Al Jazeera had a documentary on that. Is it going to be one-party state? So if this is going to be one-party state, all the symptoms are there. So if SHAJEEV is going to be foreign minister, if somebody try to kidnap him, if somebody tried to kidnap Sheikh Hasina, kill Sheikh Hasina, or her father was killed, every time there are too many bad news, government try to use that as a leverage by arresting others, use as a leverage. So to be, like I said, the country situation is, few people only realize, but I feel, because I read those stories, I feel what happened during the Hitler regime, exactly that is happening.
Same thing is
so instead of try to dig out why and what, I think that it's time that we try to realize what's happening, what happened in Second World War Germany and what is happening to us, and try put one and one two together.
Yep.
And start taking action. Now, if SHAJEEV is going to be foreign minister, or he's going to be this or that, if this continue for too long, it's going to be one-party state, and SHAJEEV WAZED is going to be our president, whatever you call it, in the long run. They already started doing this. But if you see the local Awami League, they have been spending thousands of dollars to campaign for Donald Trump, because they don't want Hillary to win. Why? Is because if Hillary becomes the president, there might be bad news for Sheikh Hasina, and her son may not have any future. So they're trying to keep Hillary out of White House so that her son can, after her, can run this country, and then is going to go on and on. But according to the documentary evidence, there was no such claim, which his government is saying that Shafiq Rahman or others did. SHAJEEV WAZED, somebody tried to kidnap him, is a bullshit, nonsense.
I agree
okay,
with you.
bullshit,
Tell me
nonsense.
More. Yeah.
And then this is if he's trying to if they're trying to if BNP is not trying to do something about it, they could have hired an attorney here, at least file a simple case, and then using that. Just they could put out news from their end, but they are not doing that. They are just quiet. But there is a possibility that this could go into the court, regardless who he is, and then there could be some truth come out. I think there's still time that BNP should try in American court doing something.
Mina, I'll give you courage that you put that advice right in front of BNP.
Yes, I think.
But don't you think BNP is playing India's B team nowadays, the way BNP is acting? What do you think?
BNP is acting, I don't know how to express it, but they have become like a thorn. You know, they are not, they are just, this government would be ousted a long time ago because of their lack of activism or their lack of how to run a opposition. These things can happen. You know, so many things happening. How long Hitler survived? How many years? 6, 7, 8 years? 8 years. And this government has killed so many people, took down so many media, and killing people in the jail. You know how many people are dying? It's not in the news. They're slow poisoning people. We have been writing. Yep. You know what happened to Yasir Arafat? They poisoned him. Okay, yeah. And then other in the Brazil too. So they're poisoning so many people. They're dying. BNP shut up their mouth, not saying anything. Because of their lack of leadership and activism, this thing will even go further more.
Okay. We are talking about that conspiracy, kidnapping and killing SHAJEEV WAZED Joy. Sometimes I don't know why I'm trying to say he's Sheikh, but he's not Sheikh. Sheikh is his mother. David, there's a rumor through a public views, newspaper, electronics media, that we are talking about the same guy, that Bangladesh is trying to make him the foreign minister of Bangladesh.
Okay.
Other than thinking that he is going to be the foreign minister of Bangladesh just to avoid indictment, if anyone bring any criminal case, civil case, whatever, just to avoid everything, he wanted to get diplomatic immunity. That's the public views. Listen, I'm also a public. So other than these medicine, that having a diplomatic immunity, do you see as a US individual, an attorney, from a legal perspective, what could be the other reason right now they're making him the foreign minister of Bangladesh?
Well, you know, as Dr. Farah said, look, it's very difficult to know the whys, okay? But as the old saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. So somebody who suddenly has hanging over them perhaps one of the greatest crimes in Bangladeshi history, certainly one of the greatest crimes in U.S. history, and suddenly gets diplomatic immunity, the coincidence, it's preposterous for anybody to think that it's a coincidence. And even if there are other reasons for it, clearly the main reason, or one of the reasons, is so that he could avoid indictment. And I don't believe that it's necessarily impregnable. For example, if the crime occurred prior to the grant of diplomatic immunity, so then perhaps he's still indictable, A. B, he's a U.S. citizen. So while you have diplomatic immunity for foreign nationals, I don't know that the same applies to a United States citizen. So perhaps there will be charges coming up, or if not, perhaps there should be, or at least a solid and open investigation into these allegations. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about the disappearance of $1 billion.
Yep.
And we're talking about basically only one person that really is at the center of it. He was in charge of the security for that money.
Digital Bangladesh. Listen, that's a different subject. I'm gonna use one of the sentence sometimes Dr. Mina Farah use on me. I says, Jacob, that's a different subject. Okay. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna take that advantage on that subject. Dr. Farah and me, we're gonna come back again another day. We're gonna talk about that subject. This is another subject I wanted to touch. Right now, the situation in Bangladesh, what she's saying, a dire situation.
Right.
Anyone and everyone, if they say anything about this current government, they made a law that he's gonna get life sentence and he's going to be fined probably $300,000-400,000 or $500,000. Did you ever heard in a civilized nation any country would say, okay, do you know what George Washington, our founding father, if anyone criticized George Washington, they will be in prison getting life sentence? Does that make any sense to you?
Makes no sense whatsoever. So it's interesting that you touched George Washington. The famous words of Thomas Jefferson prior to the formation of the United States was, if I was given the choice between a country with no newspapers or a government with no newspapers or newspapers without a government, I shouldn't hesitate to choose the latter, which means that newspapers are the fourth estate more important than the government themselves. We could run a country just with journalists. Everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. You do something wrong, the journalist points it out, everybody says, hey, you did something wrong, and people would stop doing it. So newspapers are the crux of any freedom, any free government. And as you pointed out, the reason for eliminating the journalists is, as they did in Nazi Germany, where they eliminated the journalists, appointed Goebbels as the spokesperson, and he disseminated all types of propaganda, which were lies and complete half-truths. He was a wonderful, wonderful propagandist, but at the bottom, at the core, the reason to arrest journalists is to prevent them from spreading dissent among the people, because at the end of the day, the people are the ones with the power if they choose to use it. And without journalists informing the people of what's going right and what's going wrong, the people don't know that they need to use their power.
I think Dr. Farah and you both knows a name I'm going to mention. Her name was Helen Thomas.
Okay.
She was a White House correspondent for NPR. She was all those major media.
Yeah, yeah.
She used to look at the president and she used to say whatever she wanted. Guess what? Since she died, every president, sitting president, respected her. We never heard that any US president or executive branch says that journalist said something derogatory, put her in prison. There is no history in this country.
No.
In Bangladesh, they are claiming there's a freedom of speech, freedom of press. That's what they are claiming. So you are saying those are nothing, just the statement of Goebbels?
You see, Rana Plaza happened 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Sohail Rana,
Yeah.
who was a member of the party, he is still in jail. Case has not been brought into the court yet. He's staying there 3 years. And you see the speed of trial and the speed of hanging the opposition leaders. Now you try to understand that we have to understand why government is doing this. You know, like I said again and again, we have to think of Nazi Germany, exactly same situation. You know, they have a verdict today to hang Motiur Nizami. Yeah, so they have almost finished with the opposition and Jamaat-e-Islam. Now they are going after the BNP leaders. You know, Dr. Osman Farooq,
yes,
very much well connected with the foreign leaders. Now after Shafiq Rahman, they are trying to catch him. So one after the other, they will catch everybody like Nazi Germany did. Goebbels did to hide the truth. They started the propaganda. So this Rana Plaza happened. The guy is not still in the court yet.
Mina, I will stop you. Suddenly I think of something. So you are saying Awami League government, one after another, they are trying to eliminate all those intellectuals, leader of the opposition party,
who has connection with
the foreigners, and they are killing one after another.
Yes.
Because of the fact that Awami League is thinking that BNP almost become India's B team. Only party who can challenge our authority is Jamaat Islami. kill them off. So when they are gone, now they are coming after Osman Farooq.
I mean, they're almost done with the Jamaati. Now they have come all of a sudden with Dr. Osman Farooq. And if you remember, Shamsher Mobin Chaudhary,
yes,
out of fear, he was forced to quit the party.
Yes.
Now Shafiq Rahman is gone, and now Dr. Osman Farooq, and then it will be more coming. It's like what happens all over the world is 60 seconds. Throughout the world, everything happens in 60 seconds in Bangladesh. Every day people getting killed, they are being kidnapped, their dead bodies are found here and there, and journalists are going to the jail, opposition leaders are being arrested. So how can you explain? We are tired of explaining this situation. It's time for action. If somebody has a guts, they should, the opposition leaders here, they should go to the court, at least file a lawsuit against this Bangladesh government. There are international laws that there are in many sections this government could be prosecuted. Even the war crime, what she has been doing, she's committing genocide. You know, today is the 5th of April.
Yes.
5th of May, Hefazate
massacre.
So that night, how many thousand killed, we don't know. So there's so many things could be done.
Dr. Farah, I have a very important question. I want you to explain that one. As of today, we Bangladeshi are blaming Pakistan. They killed our intellectual in 1971. They tried to kill everybody, all of the
I do not know if it's true.
No, we are claiming on the paper. Dr. Farah, I agree with you on that subject. You and me, we're going to talk on that subject later on.
Okay.
But as of today, Bangladesh is claiming that Pakistani killed our intellectual.
Yeah, Finnish intellectuals.
Okay. Now, what is the difference? That time Pakistan did it, and you and me, we are not so sure whether Pakistan did it or not. But right now, what Awami League is doing, what is the difference?
In 1952, how many people for the language movement, how many got killed? From 1952 until 1971, how many Bengalis got killed? Only a few, not even 100, probably 200.
Yes.
Okay, think about for the last 7 years, over 30,000 people got killed. It's coming in the newspaper, and the money fleeing the country. Where all these are going? What is happening? So try to understand, government is going for a one-party state because they have the big support of Russia, China, Japan, India. India is like America of the East.
Yep.
So India has been invited to speak at the joint session in America. It's so much important. So if whatever India say, America has to listen. And now this government has the blessing of India. So whatever is happening in our country, everything is happening because India wants it. India wants to hang all those Jamaati leaders, paralyze BNP. They are going to do whatever exactly the India wants. I have been saying that for so many months.
Yes, yeah. In the US, there is one social issues nowadays is very common. I'm going to ask you this question, probably you can explain. Anything happen in the US, whether light bulb got fused on the street or there is a building fell down, anyone, first thing people say, it has to be terrorist, Muslim people are involved. And then when they investigate, they find one Christian guy or one other religious paramilitary, they are doing it. Why this thing happening in the US?
Why is
anything happen? Without even knowing the fact, they're saying, oh, there's a Muslim guy did it. Look at Columbine school, look at Connecticut, school killing, shooting. This is probably terrorist involved. So they have to bring a Muslim guy. Muslim ghost is there. Why is that?
A lot of people have beliefs about strangers, people they don't know well. It's just how it is. The country, it shouldn't, but there is a lot of racism in the country.
You are saying there's a lot of racism, David?
There is a lot of racism in the country. You know, it's just how it is. And people who we don't know, there's I think not as many people of Islamic faith in this country than there are in many other nations. So any minority, they're viewed with suspicion. That's the basis of racism. People fear what they don't know, and so naturally, people are quick to conclude that that people who they don't know must be the bad guys. It's been humanity has fallen for that, you know, the world over for many, many years, and it's just it's one of our fatal flaws. But there are other reasons. You know, it's the easy scapegoat for the government. There's a lot of people who have no problem fomenting this kind of distrust, and so when journalism and journalists have a lot of power. When a journalist says, you know, must be
a Muslim.
Yeah, it must be a Muslim. Well, people say, oh, that sounds good. Must be a Muslim. People don't stop to realize that the only thing that qualifies the journalist to say it must be a Muslim is the fact that he has a computer in front of him and he's ready to publish. But that's another old saying: never argue. It's in the 1700s. They said, never argue with somebody who buys ink by the barrel. Okay, so you know, if somebody has a platform, of course they're going to spill their tirade against whoever they want, and it's unfortunate, but it's something that people as a whole have to work on.
Washington Post did an interview with Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid, and at the time of the interview, the journalist asked Harry Reid that, don't you think all the Muslims should be held accountable in this country with some sorts of terrorism and anything? And it was Harry Reid. He almost canceled the interview. He says, this type of ridiculous question I'm not going to entertain. He says, my personal physician is a Muslim and he is my childhood friend. They're practicing Muslim. I have never felt that way. But don't you think that there should be more Harry Reid come out and say those things?
Should be, yes, of course there should be. But at the end of the day, you know, you need strong people who are willing to stand up for things. And we don't have that many people like Dr. Farah who are willing to stand up for what's right, regardless of what personally costs them. And so, at the end of the day, should there be more? Of course. You know, are there more? Probably not. That's what makes people special.
Dr. Farah, one interesting question I would like to ask you. When a crime occurs in this country, whoever commit the crime, a crime is a crime.
Crime is a crime.
Crime is a crime. There is no other way to define. It's a crime. It could be the moral failure of the society or the family or something else is the crime. Now, we can cry about the victim. We can criticize who committed the crime.
Yeah.
But why we have to say that? I'll give you an example. A couple of months ago in Connecticut, there is a school shooting, and this is a Muslim guy who was involved, and finally when they find that there's no Muslim involved, there's other guy involved. In Bangladesh, a couple of days ago, I had a letter exchange between me and Tulsi, a congresswoman, Foreign Relation Committee of House of Representatives. Okay. I tried at least 20 times to get in touch with her.
Okay.
There's no phone call.
Okay.
I did it for one reason. She says, in Bangladesh, most of the minority women, if they goes out of the house, they don't come back to the house without getting raped.
Okay.
Now, then I did something. I checked with the Amnesty International, I checked with the PEN International, I checked with the U.S. State Department report. I also checked the country's situation based on the Human Rights Watch and some of the report from World Bank that what is going on. According to my research, I find every year there is a total 550 rape take place, unfortunately, in our country. That's really sad, right?
It is. It
is sad. 550 rape? That's really sad. And this, I don't know. Now, out of 550 rape, there is 89% victims are Muslim.
Okay.
9% Hindus.
Okay.
And others.
Okay.
Other religion. Now, here is the question. When a Muslim female get raped, in the newspaper that, yeah, women get raped, they don't say a Muslim got raped. They say a female got raped.
Yes.
That is the part. That is true. A female get raped. But whenever a Christian or Hindu get raped, why they have to come up says a Hindu woman got raped? What is the difference?
See, I'm going to say again, this is another subject, a wide subject.
Yeah.
Before I answer that, I just wanted to give you some information about Sheikh Hasina's regime. during her tenure, we have now the largest prison in Southeast Asia.
I agree
she
with
made
you.
it. She proposed and she finished and she did.
I agree.
Why we needed such a big jail system in our country, prison? Why we need it? That means we are going to put more people. It's pre-planned that we are going to put all the opposition. I think that's what her plan is. She needs a bigger space to put all the opposition, run a one-party state.
Yes.
The second thing is Bangladesh is the third largest weapon buyer after China. Bangladesh is the third largest hanging country, like they hang people after Iran and China. Next is Bangladesh. So if you compare this with Norway, they have been shutting down the prison because they don't have any prisoner. And in our country, we are opening a bigger prison because we have so much to put in there. But are they thieves? Are they criminals? No, they are the opposition.
Opposition party.
So, like I say, that like the Nazi Germany, Sheikh Hasina regime is trying to take out all the voices, all the vocal cords. She is trying to shut down, and then because they have been committing so much crime, out of 300 parliamentarians, 97% are businessmen. They have garments, they have banks, they have multiple business, multilateral companies, they are billionaires. To hide their crime, this SHAJEEV kidnapping theory came up.
Yep.
Now, second thing is why Muslim? This is a wide subject. What I'm going to say is, since 9/11, more Muslim names are coming up into the media, and often media jumps into conclusion, and sometimes they are wrong. Most of the time it is right, and because Muslim religion has two sides. One is like the people who really are religious, peaceful. That's one kind. Other kind is the jihadist group, the extremist group, who use the religion as an activism.
Right.
Because that's the strength.
Yeah.
And because there is a difference between Christianity, Judeo-Christianity and the Muslims, they all came from the same origin, one after the other.
Right.
So because they have now this jihadist section added to the Quran Sharif, which wasn't in the other religions so much. So because those bad guys made such a bad name in 9/11, this thing falls too often. And if you see the shooting by this military doctor, and others, Nidal Hassan,
Texas.
So even though they are wrong, most of the time is becoming right. Okay, so I think that we have to really.
I'm gonna conclude it one thing. Since this is for both of you, since September the 11th, there's total 31 attack, small attack. There's a school shooting. There's this total 31. Do you have any idea out of 31 how many Muslim was involved within incident? How many of them?
I haven't given track, but
you?
No, I
you said it majority of the time Muslim.
Come,
out of 31, total 9 times Muslim was involved. Then how many times they are not involved?
31, you said.
Yeah, okay. 31 deduct.
Right.
Two-thirds was not involved.
Okay. Now, do you know who was involved on that 2/3? Our Christian brother. They're evangelic, whatever. That's one subject. Even the only reason I say it, when a Muslim guy doing a terrorism, he should be hanged, period. No question asked. When a guy come to America and harm America, they should be in prison or hanged. Let's not talk about these ones. There is no compromise. No one should attack America, period. But question is, don't you think it's ridiculous when anything happen anywhere claiming, oh, this guy's Muslim, that's why he committed this crime? My problem is there.
I'm with you.
Okay. The one I says, a couple of days ago, I was literally arguing with someone, and that argument was, unfortunately, one clinic owner in Pirozpur, Borishal got kidnapped.
Okay.
And happens to be the guy is a police super of that district, was friend of mine anyway. I pick up the phone. I says, give me a little bit description. Why? For a reason. Mina, if anyone tell me, Jacob, this is this, I have one bad instincts, I'm going to investigate that one based on my capacity. I push people. I call them. I said, why this thing, blah, 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 we get it done. And finally, this is there recovered, and the people who did that, they're under custody. Then I was talking to two journalists, and I says, why you have to mention, isn't it enough that a clinic owner who is helping people, innocent people, they got kidnapped? This crime itself is sad and sorrow. We are sad that why this thing happened. Why you have to mention a Hindu clinic owner? Why you have to use the Hindu?
Identify it, yes.
Do you think that's the right thing?
No, no. I mean, like I said, it's a very wide subject. We are too much divided. I think it's going to get worse. You know, I speak for the people. Even if I just move a little bit criticizing religion, they come after me. Look, she's a atheist, and then where are the people not looking after her? People become intolerant, impatient. So Hindu, Muslim, everybody. I say that when you give blood, your body doesn't ask what religion that blood is coming from, and people got mad. People thought I'm an atheist and then kill me.
Dr.
Can
Farah,
you imagine that?
Dr.
That
Farah,
intolerant.
Dr. Farah, when anyone is talking about you, do you know what I says? I have utmost respect for her. Oh, do you know who she is? I says, if I need to know anything about Dr. Farah, I'm going to speak to her, not you. That's the way. That's the way my life goes. Now, only problem I'm talking about. If you're on the street, if I see that someone is doing something harm to you, I'm gonna grab you. I'm not gonna ask you what religion. I don't care. I have to save you. As a human, we have to do it.
But I must say, besides media, whatever media is saying, I must say, my observation is this: non-Muslims are very protective of Muslims, especially in the Congress, in the Senate. How you see how they try to protect the Syrians. You know, some people don't want the Syrians to come here, but the refugee. You know, Obama wants to reduce the waiting time from 36 months to 3 months. So there are a lot of sympathies too. There are good, bad, both.
Of course, there is. Dr. Farah, thank you very much. I think we had a very wonderful conversation, and you, me, and Mr. Korngold. If you are kind enough and he's kind enough, I'd like to talk about that money issues on my next show. Very much. It's always a pleasure, and I'm really happy. You made my day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Korngold, you are the best. You are the best. You made my day.
Back at you.
Okay. Audience, that's our show. What can I say? We can bring people who knows the subject. They can pull out the information from the judicial. A person like Dr. Farah, she can study all day long through book after book, try to find the right information and share with you. She don't have to. Mr. Korngold, he don't have to come here and read a court paper because it is here. Sometimes people criticize me that probably I'm the supporter of BNP, probably I'm the supporter of Jamaat or some other places. I just want to let you know, I do one party, and that party name is Bangladesh. Any party do good for Bangladesh, I'm with them. Anyone who does bad for Bangladesh, I'm against them. That's the only identity and political view I have. There is nothing else. When I talk about on those subjects, I do research. I'm not a PhD holder, neither I went to Harvard and studied 20 years, but guess what I do? I have very smart people around me, like David Korngold, like Dr. Farah. So when we come and talk about a subject, please, I'm not asking you to spare Dr. Farah or me or Mr. Korngold. Just listen, and if you have some information we are sharing, check it and challenge my information. You want to challenge my information? You can challenge here any times. You want to know my email address? You want to know my phone number? Be my guest. I'll share it with you. Anyone can reach me at legalexpertusa@aol.com, and I'm going to put it on the screen for you. I love you all. Please do not divide our nation. Whether you are Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, we all are Bangladeshi. We should love each other. We should build bridge between us, not break us, because we love Bangladesh. Dr. Mina Farah, I heard lots of criticism about her. Read my lips. She loves her country more than you can think of. You want to challenge me? Come. be my guest. My name is Jacob Milton, and you are watching We Are the People. Thank you for watching us. See you next time.